prayer, and then if you would remain standing and join us in the pledge of the flag. I'm going to call on Commissioner McGahey to open us with prayer.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this day and for your love for us. Lord, thank you most of all for Jesus, who gave his life to give us eternal life with him. Lord, we pray that you would be with each one of us here this morning as we go about the county's business. Give us the wisdom and understanding to make the correct decisions, and be with us as we leave this place, and put a hedge of protection around us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. We have no scheduled public hearings today, but we do have a public comment scheduled, and so we are glad to welcome Katie and the 4-H gang with us. I would love for y'all to come up and present to us, give us an update on the activities of 4-H and the Auburn Extension Office. I can tell you this, I have the privilege of interacting with this office from time to time through the year, and they are very active, very much making a positive impact in our community. We appreciate y'all.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm Katie Lee, and I'm the 4-H agent for Covington County, and I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Jenna Anderson and Ms. Tara Dalton, who are also agents here in Covington County. We are in all the schools from 4th through 8th grade with 4-H in the entire county. That's very rare for a county to have that much participation in 4-H, so we get to see these students at least 5 times a year, and we bring hands-on educational activities along with teaching them parliamentary procedure and all sorts of leadership skills and different things like that. We are in after-school programs. We are in 2 of the school systems right now doing after-school programs each month. And we have a garden club with that group, along with the garden club at our extension office that we're working with. We have a homeschool group that is meeting monthly, that we have, what, about 15 to 20 students that come in each month that are getting hands-on educational experiences, and we're real proud of that group. Let's see, we have a horse club that we're very thankful for the county commissioners for allowing us to use the county arena every week that they're able to practice with that. We have the archery club also that is meeting and gets to use that arena inside for the winter months whenever it's dark for us to be practicing outside at that time. Pig, chicken, rabbit, all of these were projects that students competed in this year throughout the county, competed at regional events with our chicken and our pig. And so they were able to compete with about 11 different counties in the southeast section of Alabama with that. Our archery club and our WEP, which is our wildlife club, they both competed at state events this year. And our wildlife club came in second across the entire state on wildlife. So these were about 4 senior level students and 4 junior, from 9 to 14. That basically went through an entire curriculum of wildlife to learn how to compete. And so they came in second team competition and several individual different competitions. Let's see, we have our cooking club that meets monthly, that we have students that are coming for that every single month. We have to put a limit to that one, 15 to 20 students every month. And it fills up very quickly the day that we open it up. We have students that are filling that. We compete in competitions like public speaking, different competitive events, and Commissioner McGahey came and was a judge for us at our county roundups for that.
And regional.
And we sponsored, we were the invited our regional set of the Southeast Alabama to come to LBW to compete there. And so we had students from, it was an all-day event, competing in everything from extreme birdhouses, where they built their birdhouses, woodworking. Help me.
Well, we worked the Legos, photography,
Baking.
the bake-off, that's always a hit,
Just a full day there.
and the public speaking, so.
Okay.
But that brings a lot of people in.
Yeah, we did. We had several people come in for that. Let's see, we have our Covington County Youth Leadership Program that we help with, that our Chairman White was able to organize with that with Dr. Terry Dunn at LBW, and I help with that group every single month. In fact, tomorrow we start a whole new group, so we're looking forward to that. Your Money, Your Life, this is a program that we target 9th through 12th graders in the school systems, and we go and do a whole big day. It's kind of like a job fair type thing, except they go to the different booths. They get a career, they get a family path, each person's different, and they have their money to spend, and it's a very hands-on activity, and every single time we do this, I have parents calling, thank you, my child had no idea how much expenses.
Question on that. How do you cover every kid on that day that you're?
Well, it's a
You have
very.
volunteers or what?
We do. We have about 15 volunteers that come in, and we seek out, like for the bank, we seek bankers out in the community, and all of our banking systems, they love to come. They bring us volunteers for that. We have utilities. We try to find someone in the utility department to help with that, so insurance, and they go to all these different tables. So they get a clipboard. We have their money counted out for them, so they have to balance their checkbook by hand, but then they also have the money to hands-on. And
Which is fun.
yeah, they get to decide what type home they want to buy. Do they want to rent it? Do they want to buy it? Is it going to be a mobile home? All those different options, it's their money.
They have to buy a cell phone, talk about clothes, talk about.
We
personal
upsell.
care.
They're broke.
Y'all upsell till
And then they
the
go
money's gone?
back, and they have to go to get a second job at times
Oh, yes.
to pay for that. So we try to make it,
But-
some of our volunteers take it very seriously.
Our National Guard recruiters, we always put them usually on the aspect of the part-time job. And so if they decided they want to join the National Guard, he has them doing push-ups before they get to get paid. So it's always a
See my
a
volunteer,
lot
but
of
I don't
fun.
want to now.
But definitely, anybody that would love to come volunteer for any of these things, we are going in October to the Andalusia City Schools with that one. And then come March, we usually start with all the county schools with that. And Groundwater Festival, we help with that, Classroom in the Forest, Young Farmers. We do River Kids, where we have kids in the summertime kayaking. Community services, we have several throughout the county that we work with our leadership group. And we take 30 kids every year to summer camp. So
So I know that the three of you have, 20 or 30 other staff members that help you with all of this?
it's the three of us. It's us. We did have Miss Charlotte Petrie that she's going to work with Florilla High School full-time. So we're in the process of hiring a couple of more people to help us.
Y'all do great work. I know that a couple of years ago, and I think last year, you had more kids involved in 4-H than any other county in the state.
We are
there?
still that number. We are very much.
That's a great accomplishment.
Number one. It is a huge accomplishment. And, we're competing with, Jefferson County and, every county. And so to have that number, it's a strategic plan that the three of us really go after and seek. And we try to offer such a variety because we want to have each child engaged in
Right.
whatever it is that they find
Appreciate
interest.
your efforts, but also appreciate the schools being willing to work with you
Exactly.
like they do.
Exactly, and that's huge because a lot of counties, they have a hard time getting in the school systems.
And not realizing exactly what we're bringing, to see that we are benefiting those children.
Exactly.
Commissioners, comments, questions?
I had the privilege of actually coming down to the National Forest when y'all had the indigo snake release.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I will say that day, that was educational for me, just walking around all the different events y'all have for these kids. It's very, very good
Well,
for
thank
these
you.
children to be able to understand and see what they do. It's a great program y'all do down there, I know.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we explained that the Conecuh National Forest is a real gem to have here, and they just, you take it for granted living here, but it's extremely biodiverse, and kids really do understand it once they've been through
Oh,
us.
yeah.
And I would say too, 3 or so years ago, the 4-H it was dwindling, it was
Right.
going away.
Exactly.
And the work y'all done and the efforts y'all put in bringing it back, and especially with the participation and broadening what you do.
Right.
Not only to animals and farm life and rural life, but just life in general, about teaching them these things. So that means a lot, and that, it gives them more avenues, and it just really helps, because And we just thank you, for
Well,
what
thank
y'all
you.
do. And I know it's endless time, but y'all.
Well,
do
without
what
your
you do.
support, I mean, it's been a huge benefit. That's how we can do it. So, thank you.
I was going to say, if anybody else, excuse me, if anybody else gets the opportunity to go to be a judge with the 4-H.
Oh, we welcome all of you.
Please take the opportunity. I did the baking goods at one point. Didn't get sick. I mean, it was
When they were just talking about that while ago, I thought, well, that's one I would like to judge.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll get,
You're
we'll
on
get in
my
touch with
list.
you.
Yes.
We have it, December's gonna be
December.
ours because we've moved our bake off to November, so December 12th.
It took
we'll just
us-
mark that down.
We've had such a huge group of kids that we're making it a 2-day event, and we decided to cut it in half this year.
Judge Bacon?
2 different times through the year.
Yeah, I would like to do it again, for
All
sure.
right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Y'all are going to be in the Christmas parade
Oh,
also?
yes.
Oh.
Is Elvis going to make another
I don't
appearance?
think I'm gonna be able to find him. I'm not sure that he'll be, but we'll find out what the theme is this year.
Okay.
We'll see who comes out.
The kids actually vote on they decide, they plan,
Yeah.
our youth council plans that float, and we just order and help, order the decorations that they
We're at their
vote
mercy.
on. And, yeah, we are at their mercy.
We're at their mercy. They
And
tell us
we're
what
trying
to
to make it work, and so that was completely their idea. our
And
youth
that gives them
council.
that leadership and
Yeah.
having a hand in it, they see what they've
They
done.
had to vote, they came up with different things or different ideas, but they had to vote, and then everybody had to get in on with the one that everybody chose
And then design it.
work yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
cool. Maybe they won't think of Honey Boo Boo.
oh,
Well, we appreciate the work that y'all do, appreciate you giving us a report this morning, appreciate what the Extension Office as a whole does.
Thank you.
Make a very positive impact on our county, so thank y'all
Thank you.
so much. Any other questions, comments?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Mike Weeks is with us today, and Mike had asked if he could just have the microphone for 1 minute, just a minute and a half, Mike.
Being a former politician, a minute in my time, and a politician's time quite a bit. I want to be here to thank you for Coleman Road. I know, having served in public service, you very seldom you do stuff for people and never come back and say thank you. And so I want to thank you. And Michael, of course, you were very helpful. Lynn, you did a great job on it. And the people up there was what impressed me. I know one time I pulled up and the guy come up from the county, and he said, "Now, are you an emergency?" I said, "No." He said, "Now, it's going to be a little bit, but if you're an emergency, I'll get you through." I said, "No, sir, I'm fine." He was concerned that I had to be somewhere. In fact, he asked me if I had to be at the doctor's office, and I thought that was very impressive on it. The county road crews and all, overall, when I'd stop, and say, "Hey, I appreciate y'all," and how much time and all, they were very, very helpful. One thing is Coach, as a lot of us know him, Paul Godwin, was very pleased. He said he'd been working on it 40 years. And when Paul tells you that, that's something. I've been knowing Paul since the University of West Alabama, called now Livingston University. As y'all know, he was on the way to a great possible pro baseball player and messed up his shoulder. I won't tell you what all went on over with me and Paul. The thing that I have a almost new Mercury, and it was so pleased. We came back and the road had just been completed a day or two before, and it rolled over on 600,000 right there when I went on the new road. So I'll always remember that. Some folks are already wanting some signs. One is, of course, constituency never gets through wanting anything, and Chuck and I have talked, and I think when people come in and assess our taxes and realize that we've got a paved road in there, they're going to be bitching and moaning to Chuck about that. But they want a dead end sign, but you and I know that if most people come down that road, if they want to turn down there, they're going to be able to. I know I have them drive in my yard, and I've got three or four signs, and even, I can tell you who all's been in drive, because I'm on the dead end down there. Maybe Coach's Lane, maybe Paul will come up with the money and pave all that for us. But you need a speed limit sign, because when the road was dirt, they were driving 60 or 65, so we probably need to put a 75-mile-an-hour speed limit sign up there. And have really enjoyed working on this project, and I've been very pleased with the professionalism of all of the people that worked on it, even the group that did the paving. I guess they contracted to come in there and pave with it. Any questions, sir, before
I don't think so, Mike. We appreciate you coming back, making the effort to come back and thank these folks for the work that they do.
Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One other thing I'd like to make note of under the awards and presentations is the Covington County received from the ACCA Liability Self-Insurance Fund its annual leadership award. And this is it. So I don't even know if I can pick that up. So we received that as the #1 county in the state related to our liability insurance program. So we appreciate that acknowledgement and congratulate Karen and others, the safety team, Lynn and his crew, others. I mean, there's several departments, obviously. Every department is affected by that.
And
So
the
we-
employees.
And the employees in those departments, we appreciate the extra effort they made to receive that acknowledgement. So thank y'all so much. You have a comment on that?
We also awarded $2,000 to go with that, and I'd like to see that put back into safety efforts if y'all are so willing to do so.
Is there a motion to put that 2,000 into a safety program? There's a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. We'll just consider that done. You can reflect that.
Perfect. Thank you all so much.
All right. Chuck, you are here again today. Do you have any comment as an elected official? Be glad to recognize you at this time.
Yeah, just wanted to say one thing. If you turn 65 before October 1st, make sure you sign up for the over 65 exemption in my office for your property taxes.
Okay.
And that'll be, you'll fill that out, paperwork out between October 1st and December 31st.
Okay. Good deal. Thanks. I know that's been a concern for some people that they're not aware of it until years later. So I appreciate you mentioning it here for us today.
I have a question about that. If two people are on the deed, is it just one person, the oldest?
That's correct.
Okay.
Whichever one turns 65 first.
Good deal. Thank you, Chuck. Sheriff, do you have anything at this time or come later?
I can come later.
Okay, that'll be fine. All right, we will move on then. Commissioners, under the consent agenda, you received by email the minutes of the August 8th regular meeting and August 31st special call meeting. And you also have seen the accounts payable and payroll for the month of August. I'll ask if there are any changes or corrections. Or if there are none, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, your motion, is there a second?
Second.
Anybody else have a correction that you would like to note that maybe they've overlooked? All right, if not, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, those are approved. Thank you. Under old business, it says consider preliminary engineering assessment for economic development. We had discussion on that at a previous meeting. I was asked to get a couple of things relative to that and haven't yet been able to pull those together. So we'll just, unless there's feeling to the contrary, we'll just postpone that for discussion at a later meeting. Just didn't want to lose track of it. So hearing no opposition, we'll handle it that way. So we'll move on to new business. Under item A is consider CATS contract with the HR, and we'll call on CATS to tell us what that's about. Please, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ms.
How are
Kent.
you? Ms. Katz.
CATS has a contract with DHR, state and local, that I'm here to request renewal for the year 2024. There are no changes from last year's contract with the exception of one. Last year I had put the amount to be at $2,000 to be received for services. During the middle of the year, I had to go back and request that it be $11,000. And that's the only change that's been made since y'all approved the contract last year.
So the new one is at the 11,000 figure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this contract for renewal with the changes noted?
Make a motion.
I'll say.
All right. Anybody have questions on it?
Any major changes to it? There wasn't any major changes or anything, right?
No major
Pretty
changes.
Routine.
Everything's the same.
Okay.
All right. If there's nothing else, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Uh-huh.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Approved. Anything else you want to report while you're at the microphone? Relative to cats?
Everything is going great. We are doing, the software has been such a huge help in the learning process. Has been a little, but it's getting better. Still waiting on vans. Still don't know anything about that, just
How many are on order again?
4.
4 new vans
4 new vans.
on order.
We will have a total of 7, because I'll have to sell 1 and 4, bus 1 and 4, so we'll have a total of 7 whenever we get done.
Drivers?
No, I still right now only have 4 full-time drivers and 1 part-time at this time.
All right. Any other questions?
I'll be back to request to hire more at the time.
Okay.
Again, I appreciate what the service that it is, you do,
Thank
and
you.
what it does for the county.
It's a
And,
great program.
people just don't understand, a lot of people still don't, the benefits of it and how it does help so many people. And free up a family who has someone who needs a certain treatment or something, that y'all could go get them and take them and pick them up.
And one thing with the two of the new vans, whereas now we can only haul 1 wheelchair at a time, 2 of the new vans will be able to put 2 at one time, which will be a great help. So looking forward to that too.
Approximately how many people will be all carried, just say a month's time? And I didn't want to put you in a spot, but I know they stay busy because you see them all over the county.
I'm gonna guess, because it's gonna be a guess, but I'm gonna say we average around, let's say, 40 people a day, 5 times a week, so
200?
1,000.
maybe 500, 600, I'm guessing. So, but
200 a week.
I can get you the definite
No, I'm
number,
just kind of,
because
Maybe
that's
at the
interesting to
next
know.
meeting, it'd be good if you had the
Yeah,
report.
sure, be happy to do that for you.
That'd be great.
Can do that with the new transit dispatch software, so, yes, I can get that for you.
All right. Anything else?
And didn't you tell me these new vans, 1 or 2 of them will be able to carry 2 wheelchairs?
2 wheelchair at one time.
Good deal.
Awesome, yes. All right,
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Tammy. Next item is, item B, is announced Personnel Review Board appointment for the employee representative on the Personnel Review Board. Who is that?
That is Tyler Elmore from
Okay.
Mapping and Appraisal. That was a close one. We had to do a runoff election since they were tied the first time we had it. So we had a runoff election and Tyler did win.
Okay, so is that board
It is
fully
complete.
complete now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So-
Terms are 4 years?
Yes, 4-year terms, 7 members, 6 appointed by the commission and 1 employee rep.
All right. Good deal. Item C is consider retroactive approval for out-of-state travel. Tell us about that, Karen, please.
Well, it seems that a lot of times when we're going to conferences, they are in the Orange Beach area, and a lot of the travel coming back and forth is through Florida. And so we had talked about possibly approving the out-of-state travel expenses for meals that were purchased on the way or back from conferences. And then we had talked once about possibly extending our current policy so that we don't have to bring it each time, but if it's someone that's traveling to or from a conference and they just cross over a state line, if it was approved in that.
Or if you're at Perdido Beach for a meeting, for instance,
Right.
you might turn to the right as you come out and go a mile and a half and be in Florida
Right.
to get to your restaurant. So
Yes.
I would
It's
love to
just
see
so
us
close
change
with
the
all.
policy on that, just because that happens over and over. And, we could say within the Pensacola area, that would cover most of these issues that keep arising. But I'd love for us to approve, since we're under the current policy, then approve that, some expenditures that took place in Pensacola, Florida. And, let's handle that and then consider a change to the policy if we're ready for that. You have wording on that, or you want to get approval on it and then you just word it to match?
That would be fine.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve, retroactively approve the expenditures related to the most recent conference? This was County Commission Conference. Commission and other employees were there for 3 days. I think 2 or 3 of the invoices were at a restaurant in a Pensacola address. Is I heard a motion.
Second.
Second. Questions on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that's approved. What are your thoughts on changing the policy because of that unique area and how often this problem arises? Occasionally, it's law enforcement that's traveling for training, and we could make it broader, or we can make it specific to that area, the Baldwin County.
I would kind of make it, I think, specific to that area. I don't know if any other conferences that wherever they go to that's really close to a line like that. Like I said, if you come out of Perdido Key and you turn right and go 2 miles, you're in another state, and that may be where.
So are you inclined to make a motion to adjust the policy to allow that as
Yes.
being considered in state? All right. Do I hear a second?
Second.
You may want to discuss particulars on it. Are you comfortable with the general change to cover purchases in Florida, but if the conference or meeting is in Baldwin County?
You can't say Pensacola because you cross the line, you're in Perdido.
Perdido instead, so it needs to just be a Florida address. We'll let Karen word that. If the vote's favorable, we'll let her word that to fit. Anything else? All right, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we'll ask her to work on the wording for that and circulate it. I think we're comfortable with what that is proposed. Item D is consider approval for Board of Registrar training. Karen?
We have, one registrar is resigning from her position at the end of her term, so she's just not sought to be reappointed. And they have made a new appointment, but that person will not start till October 1st. So we have an opportunity to bring that person on and let them train with a full staff for the short amount of time before the end of the appointment. So with that, we would be paying the expenses, so I'm asking for y'all to consider a training period for that new clerk from now until the new appointment.
It's about 3 weeks or so.
Yes.
I don't see why not.
I think we need to.
Just kind of get us ahead on what we're already trying to do.
Yes.
And if they're willing to come on and get started.
Okay.
They're really not going into it kind of, well, because they're blind to a certain degree. They do understand the process and everything, so I make a motion that we consider.
Cover that cost, all right?
Are we going to do the same cost that they're currently paid?
Yeah.
Or y'all do an hourly? Okay, same, okay.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
One second.
So a motion and second to cover the cost of the newly appointed registrar from now to October 1, and that tends to be 2 or 3 days a week. Is that what you expect, or do you think they'll be working?
Yes, I feel like
Okay.
it would.
They'll rotate like the others do,
Right.
okay.
Are they open every day?
They're open Monday through Friday. They do close their office at 4:30, though. It's 8 to
Every day?
4:30 every day.
But they're here
But
on
they're open on
Fridays?
lunch, yes, and they're
Okay.
open on lunch.
And the person's appointed by the governor?
Well, there's 3
from their
different
office?
appointing.
I mean,
There's-
I know but the new one,
The new one is.
or anybody that comes in. You seems like we have a lot of new ones.
This one may be Department of Agriculture.
This is Department of Ag.
I think this is
Yeah.
a Department of Agriculture appointment that was coming in.
So it's either the,
And who recommends the
Commissioner.
person? How does that come about?
They apply through to that individual
Directly
office
to the office.
that is appointing, and then they have an appointments clerk, and they have a process through those.
This person will go through that process.
They already have.
They already have.
They've already gone through the
That's what I
process and
was
appointed the
asking. I
person.
didn't know there was an availability, and I just wondered how that comes
well,
about.
those
every time.
usually those are political appointments, and they go through the local party, whether it's Democrat or Republican, depending on the appointing agency. So the Commissioner of Agriculture, the state auditor, and the governor are the 3 appointing agents, I believe. All right, so we have, did we approve that? We have a motion
Motion
and
and
second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that's approved, thank you. Item E, consider lounge retail liquor application for Adams Hometown Saloon. Page 78 and 80 in your packet.
They've asked for a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license. The location is 17759 Highway 52 in Ock.
Beulah Church Road. in that
That's their
area.
mailing address.
Anything mentioned about a hookah lounge?
I don't know about
No?
that.
Okay.
All right,
Just
it
curious.
came up another time, but not this one. Kenneth, do you have thoughts on that?
No, not really. I've seen it had been closed for some time, but I reckon they're gonna try to open it again, and never been no real issues out of this place. You know, it's just
Sounds like it
Okay.
does.
just a watering hole that way. It's always been.
Commissioner Northern, you frequented that place?
So I'm okay with it.
Okay. So the process is that the applicant goes before the ABC board and they fill out the application for licenses. And they do whatever background checks, and it comes to us really as a courtesy
I guess the fellow
consideration
running
and
was
also to
doing
make it
one
public.
time.
I know a few years ago they had opened, and the gentleman that was running it got killed on a motorcycle and down there in Beulah. So that they've been one or two tried to run a little bit, I think, but hadn't nobody been real stable with it since he had passed.
So if you have no issue with it, that's a motion to approve the license. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other questions or comments on it? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that's approved. We need to consider a renewal of our in-home services contract with Sarcoa, South Alabama Regional Council on Aging. And Ms. Karen, you have
This is
details
just,
on that?
it's the annual renewal, so we've been doing this for quite some time now. Basically, they will pay around $11,000 for this agreement, and then we provide the service worker that handles our area.
So it's a renewal of a long-standing contract. Sounds like the dollar amount is the same from them this year.
Usually,
Okay.
yes, it never changes.
Okay. Is there a motion to renew this contract?
Make motion for you.
Okay. Is there a second? Sort of like the CATS discussion we had earlier, it's impacting a lot of folks in a very favorable way, and so we're glad that, although it's not meeting nearly all the needs, it is meeting quite a few, and we appreciate that effort. So there's a motion, second. Anything else? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we will sign that contract with Sarcoa. Sheriff, we're going to talk about Town of Sanford deputy. You want to come up on that or make comment on it?
It is time to renew the contract with the Town of Sanford. We've had no complaints, and we've had a lot of, attaboys and compliments on our deputy being out there. They've definitely made an effect on the Town of Sanford. I believe y'all have the request there in front of y'all, and I see it to be as fair as it can be. They would be responsible for the deputy's salary.
Okay.
How much do they pay for the contract?
What's that?
How much do they pay for a deputy now?
The full price of the deputy. It would vary between deputies. Right now, we have one assigned to it, so that's the salary that they pay. And
So if we give cost of living, they cover that or whatever? Yeah, okay.
they take care of all of it.
I think there were a couple of items we'd ask the attorney to look at, and maybe she may have a question or two. So if we approve this, let's do it contingent on her final review with you to make sure we're covered appropriately.
I will say, several people have approached me out there about how beneficial it has been.
It has.
Several years.
It's
They're
been
very pleased with the service.
It's been good. It's been good. Also, I had made mention about, we have upcoming school contract with our SROs. I've sent a contract to you guys to look at and everything, and I asked that we move forward on that as soon as we can, as soon as y'all deliberate it.
And I think the plan was to look at that in this budgeting process, which we'll be deeply involved in over the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because it'll be on the agenda.
And I would like to be involved
You
in that
will
as
be.
well.
You will be, yes, absolutely. All right, so the item before us is on the Sanford contract renewal. Is there a motion to approve that renewal under the terms mentioned, subject to a final review?
I'll make a motion.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Motion, second. Questions on this?
Everything basically the same?
Basically the same, except that there'll be changes in the amount,
Yes.
you know.
All right. Anything
How
else?
long has the deputy that's there now been there?
He's been there about a year and a half, and we've had another deputy that was there for about a year and a half.
And,
So.
and normally when he's there, what hours does he work?
He works a flexible schedule for the needs of the town of Sanford.
Okay.
Sometimes they work days, sometimes they work nights, whenever they have a need
Right.
that they work particular to
But
that.
he sets his own schedule?
He does with this, with great input from patrol division.
He can leave out there as long as he makes his hours back up, is that not?
That's right. If there was some extenuating circumstances where he would need to leave, then we notate that and everything. And Sanford is also under the understanding sometimes he'll have to leave that area. And the area is not just the town of Sanford, it's 5 miles around the town of Sanford. So it's a pretty big footprint in Sanford, in our community. So he's responsible for the papers and the warrants and everything that comes through that's in that footprint. So it's really a pretty good deal.
Any other questions? All right, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Lynn, let me call you up, and the next item is related to annual bids in your department.
What'd you call it?
Let's touch on those first. Maybe more than one, is it?
It's just, the first is the award the bid for seed and fertilizer. We had just one bid for that, and that's to the Andalusia Farmers Co-op. So,
Okay, so the recommendation is to award the bid to the lone bidder. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Motion and second. Questions for Lynn on that? Pricing wasn't too terribly up.
they upped the percentage of fertilizer instead of triple 13, went to a 20-14-14, so there's a slight bump in that, but you get more nitrogen and phosphate and everything for that, your P and K for that.
All right, we have a motion second. If nothing else, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. What else now, Lynn?
The second one, we had initially wanted to surplus our More Max, but after further looking at other options and things in that, I think we can repair the machine that we have. They've since made, we talked in discussion with the Covington we bought the machine from, and they've made considerable upgrades to the machine, a little more durable. So we're going to probably take the boom off and put a new boom and a new head on that, and then just repair that machine. That's really the only thing that's really wrong with it. AC's out a little bit. We can get that fixed though as well. So I think we'll just keep the machine. Those machines are about $270,000 now, and I can repair it, I think, good for about 40 grand, and we'll have a good machine again. So
This ain't the last head we bought?
no. Which we're getting ready to, we have surplus that a piece of equipment. It's going to wood tomorrow.
The wheeled excavator, we still don't get rid of.
Yeah, it's going to the sale tomorrow. Yeah.
So again, the specific piece you're wanting us to take off of surplus
It's a More Max we have.
More Max. We declared surplus. We want to reverse that because they've determined they just need to improve it.
And it's already got a mulching, it's basically a skid steer on wheels, really. It's already got the attachment on for the front, and we can run any skid steer attachment. So what Ron and our thinking is that they've made 2 or 3 new heads for that cutter. They've got a circular saw with 3 blades on it. They got a drum style and a 3 blade rotary style head for it. But also with the front, you can actually put a mulching head on the front, so we can actually cut it, hopefully back up and actually mulch with the machine. So you got two pieces of equipment on one piece, or 2 functions on one piece of equipment.
So to save having to spend big money on a new one,
Yeah.
let's repair this. Is there a motion to reverse the previous declaration of it being surplus? You have a second?
Second.
Questions on it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I have a question about the machine, had nothing to do with us keeping it, but is it where we could get a half circle bucket to, like when we clean out the right of way in ditches, So it doesn't have the teeth like a backhoe or an excavator?
This piece of equipment doesn't do that. It's
What-
just,
what
it's
would
just
do
an
that?
angled piece just for the, mower deck, is what it has on it.
The wheeled excavator could have done
The
that.
wheeled excavator could, yeah. It
What,
could have.
have we, what was it? HTC? Have they come up with any figures or anything?
We haven't seen it yet. We are just discussing, possibility of maybe getting some, contract labor to come in and maybe do some cutting ahead of us with their sky trimmer or giraffe, a lot of people call them. But we haven't yet to get back, they haven't got us a price yet on that. And we'll actually solicit bids. I'm just trying to see if it's even feasible to do at this point. So that's just an option.
I think that'd be great,
Yes.
absolutely. How often does this have to be done? This cutting?
Every day.
No, well, I know that, but I mean.
Every day.
Like on a yearly basis, 2 years, 3 years, how
If you get the
often?
big limbs, Ms. Lynn, we could do, if you get all the big limbs cut, I'm talking anything from probably, I'd say from 6 inches and above. Because that's the majority of your canopy that sticks over the right-of-ways. If you can get that, just that trimmed off, you'll see a huge change in the way the right-of-ways look. Sunlight can get back in, help grass grow better, and things like that.
But my question still is, how often, I'm thinking at that rate, you wouldn't have to go back every year. That'd
No,
be
ma'am, it'd
something
be
in
probably
3 or
every
4
10 or 15 years after
fine,
that. Yeah, it'd be a one-time kind of
Okay,
deal for a
so
long
we
time.
could get through it one time.
Mhm.
That'd be a tremendous help. wouldn't
Yes.
it?
Just to go around all of our roads, so it would take, what, 2 to 3 years?
Well, we got 1,390 miles times 2, so you're looking at about 2,700 something miles of right-of-way. And again, that's the whole length of width of the United States, what we'd have to cut. So it's a lot.
And that's a
Lot of
lot for
right-of-ways.
one man and one
Yes.
piece of machinery too.
Yeah. Because the whole United States is 2,600 miles in length, and we're looking a little over 2,700. What cutting that we'd have to cut. That's how much right-of-way lanes we have, or miles we have in the county. So, quite a bit.
Well, we figured the total miles of road in the county, is that including the roads that go through Andalusia and through
No, that's just what we maintain.
everything outside that we maintain?
That's just what we maintain. That's not counting federal or city streets, town streets. I don't count Andalusia or Opp, Florella, but everything else we kind of count. So, but it's a lot.
Then look at H on your agenda. Do we need to approve some annual bids, requesting some?
I do have we need to just solicit bids for our liquid asphalt, our CRS2. I do need to request, we solicit bids for that.
So is there a motion to approve soliciting bids for the liquid asphalt? All right,
Second.
there's a motion, there's a second. Any questions on that? And you think they'll be ready for the next meeting?
Yes.
2 weeks? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. What else?
That's all I got, really.
You want to give any additional report or update?
Yeah, I can kind of give you some updates. We're pouring our, the intermediate bin on our bridge down in Wing on Giles Road, that west bridge. We're doing it. We're pouring it tomorrow with the encasements around the intermediate bent. And then we'll set we got spans coming today to set on those. The abutment is complete, panel's complete, dirt work's complete up to that point. Just kind of go by district, I guess. Let's see here, what all I got going on. There's a lot.
107.
107, going there tomorrow morning. We're going to finish the base work, and I literally hope within 3 weeks I can get the paving contractor to pave basically the 1 mile of material things in the middle, get all that completed. So I hope in 3 weeks we can get the base down and get everything shaped up and gonna get asphalt on that section. Like I said, I'm hoping about 3 weeks I can make that happen. So then we'll have just 2 tie-ins to make it the end. But I want to make sure we get that middle section completed, and that way we can go on and do it. But I think in 3 weeks we could probably have that ready. Because Wiregrass is, we're looking at other jobs, some there for you in District 4. I met with Water Department yesterday, or day before yesterday, up at Wagon Wheel on that road up there. I met with Ray and here last week on the Cross Murray Road. So that's all that gets me all 3 landowners. The conditions are met with all those, and I'll get with you guys a bit later on that. But they're all in agreement with that, the three major landowners. So we'll be, I gotta get a survey, that they're, right now is requiring a survey to be done by a licensed surveyor. I'm not a licensed surveyor, but we'll have to get the deed typed up and everything on that, but,
After the survey.
what's that?
Deed typed up after the survey.
Uh,
Deed typed up after the survey.
Yes, yes. Yeah, he'll actually get that deed together. And then, I'm trying to think what else here. 107,
Glenn Chambers.
cross, Glen Chambers, we're through. I gotta go do a little bit of, shoulder work down there on the old farm road. I've got I got some complaints on that, a little bit just about some shoulder work down there that was where they clipped it. And we had to go back and get that cleaned back up, or just till it and get it thing smoothed back down. But I want a little bit of rain before we do anything, because if I do it now, it's powder. First big rain comes, it'll be to be done again. We got our new tractor in, our new mower, so we're mowing. We got that other tractor and stuff going with our mowing. We're still doing a bit of herbicide spraying with our herbicide truck. We completed Brogdon, the Ridgeview Loop, the W. Coleman Road last week. So those two little jobs are completed. So there's a lot going on in the county.
Was there a determination made on the water line on Wagon Wheels that had to be moved?
That's why I'm going there to survey it today as well. That's where I'm headed today. It's hugging one side of the road. I'm trying to make arrangements to try to maybe avoid that.
Avoid having to.
Yeah. But they laid it out yesterday, so I still got to go there and look at that. But I worked on the alignment yesterday on that road. I already started getting the alignment stuff straightened up on it. So,
Lynn, I call it this mint. It's growing down side the roads now. You know, we had this kind of eradication like for the Covington grass. This to me is more invasive than the Covington grass right now because it grows up quicker, taller next to the roads. And you're seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it, you know, on up in Montgomery County, Lowndes, and it's everywhere you go. It's in your pastures. It's everywhere. So I was just wondering, is there any way that they could do some kind of eradication to help?
I can see what the state. I can see I can see what the state's doing on their end, and see what they're doing about it.
So it's a major problem. I mean, I've seen it in the last 3 years, fighting it more, but it's everywhere. I mean, it's in just unusual places. You know, in areas where you wouldn't normally have this problem, it's there too. You know, like I say, beside the roads, it grows up and it grows quick.
It killed the other vegetation there, so.
So I just wondering if something could be done, some way to, if we need to do it, if they lead the way to trying to get something done to help fight this, because I mean, it's an issue.
Spraying doesn't take care of it?
It will kill it back, but it's still, when it grows up, you still got your weed there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not as bushy, but it's still standing and it's right side. You know,
I think a lot of pre-emergent can take care of that initially in the first stages of it.
Yeah.
But
like I say, graze on next or somebody like that, anything like that will kill it. And but it's just.
It's so time sensitive, especially in the early spring when you're looking at, you got to scout really good to make sure that you're getting it when it's actually coming up, but it's hard to see it. But I mean, you need to get when it's like this tall, really.
Yeah.
If not, I think it can get out of hand pretty quick as many roads we got.
Oh, it grows just so quick. It just.
Yeah. But it does seem like it's getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Lynn? Thank you, Lynn.
All right.
We appreciate y'all. Next is to accept reports from staff. So we'll start with Eric and go around the room. Anything at all from you guys? Karen?
Hey, Greg, I did have one other thing.
Yes, sir.
We did finish the ball improvements, softball improvements here at Florida High School, so that was really good. And I think the
Great.
coach and the principal are very pleased with what we did.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We're glad to have Hunter Price with us. He is serving as an intern with Judge Brooks, in the probate office, and she was not able to attend today. She very seldom misses a meeting, but she sent him to sit in for her, and we appreciate you being here. Hope that you have a great experience. Okay. Ms. Morgan, do you have anything?
I do
Okay. I'm thrilled to have our fairly new county attorney, Morgan Arrington, with us. If you've not met her, please take an opportunity to do that as we wrap up. Commissioners, anything else?
I do. I have some money left over in my contingency fund that I would like to use, along with there's some personal money that I have also, but I'd like to extend $1,000 to Red Level Athletics, Red Level School Athletics, and $250 to the Strawn Bass Fishing Team.
All right. Anybody want to throw any other into the mix? While we can do it all in a single motion, I think, if anybody else had
I think everybody else is broken.
discretionary money that they want to spend. The rest of us are crying up here. You have a little bit, Kenneth?
I'm going to not right this time.
All right. All right. So you heard the proposal that Tommy brought, and we'll accept that as a motion. Is there a second to approve this? Motion and second. Questions? Anybody want to challenge them on it? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that's approved. Any other commissioners have anything?
Is it okay if I go back and ask a question on the budget? Just out of curiosity. Not the budget, but the accounts payable.
You may.
The repair to payment to Palmer and Sons for $5,000. What vehicle was that?
I'm not sure what, it wasn't the most recent accident, it's the one or two before that. Rachel, do you remember when we received that one in, which one?
Don't say that out loud. We'll lose our crystal thing.
Right. Yeah, afraid they'll take it back.
Rescind.
I'm not for certain, but I think it was the sheriff's department, one of the repairs to one of the trucks, I believe, but I'm not sure exactly which incident.
We have them, so.
Yeah, I can't remember which one that was. I can follow up with y'all and let you know.
Okay. Is that all right with you to get
Sure. Yeah.
an answer off record? All right. Anything else? If not, a motion to adjourn would be in order. Thank you, Ken. We stand adjourned.